What's going on, everybody? CT here.
I'm Dean.
This is Sasquatch. Welcome to a very special Blue Ridge Bonfire episode. This is BROG Rewind 2020. We're gonna basically put all of our normal bonfire show on hold for a week. We're gonna jump in the wayback machine. We're gonna go all the way back to the beginning of 2020 and give you everything that happened, rapid fire.
January 2020. This is before me, so I'm going to let you take the lead.
Okay,
on this
so starting off in January, my boss Matt and I did the Overland trip planning video series. Now, we haven't finished that series yet, but it spawned a whole bunch of other great videos and content. And then we launched the Trail Creeper multi-purpose mat with our friend Keith. And then the Drawstring treasure bag. We started selling binoculars in January, and then we did a limited run of one burner partner steel stove bags. And we hear you guys are asking for those to come back.
Notify me when in stock.
Who knows when another limited run might happen.
Never know.
All right, so then in February, we did a walk around of a Unimog headrest Velcro panels we released in gray and coyote. And then my co-host Adam, he left BROG and he moved to New Mexico. So it was sad to see him go. But then soon after that, Dean came to join us. So it was a little bit bittersweet.
When I saw Adam post that he was moving on to another company, I kind of texted Matt and I was like, hey, consider this me tossing my hat in the ring for Adam's position.
So right after Dean came on board, we did a walk around of a Ford Excursion, Chris Cordes, 4x4 Touring on Instagram. And
this is also when order volume really started to kind of move to a new level at BROG, and we finally hit 200 orders on in our backlog, which kind of really, was... and if we only knew then what would happen later, which we'll get to that here in a second.
All the bumps along the way.
But yeah, that definitely, and that was also when we really started to feel some of the initial impact of the pandemic.
So that wrapped up February, and that brought us to March. We did Organize It, the Chevy ZR2 before and after. We designed a couple products around the Chevy ZR2, and we demoed those with a pre-sale a few weeks after that.
Limited run product. Also in March, we did a walk around video with Dan Greck's JKU, the Jeep that he drove around Africa for 3 years.
Then in March, we also did the Overland name maker. I can't remember what I was.
Oh, I don't
I'm
remember
going to throw that up on
We're
screen.
We're going to have to do like a rewind.
Yes. What's up, guys? I'm Happy Driving Pilgrim.
And I'm Aggressive Roaming Mountain Man.
That was a lot of fun.
That was.
Yeah.
Then we did the part 2 in the Overland trip planning. And then we did a walk around video of a Winnebago Revel.
So my debut of videos for Blue Ridge Overland Gear came in April. April Fool's Day is a great holiday here.
Wait, April Fool's Day was your debut video?
No, like we had already done a couple of the bonfires.
Yes.
But this was really like my solo acting video debut. Was the Overland
Scented Candle Collection. Yes. We love April Fools around here. We've got so many April Fools ideas. Just you wait, guys.
And that was actually one of the first videos filmed on the new property up at the cabin.
Yes. So that was when Matt had bought this property. We hadn't moved in yet. Things were just like early stages. Yeah. And then we asked you guys for ideas for videos that you guys might want to see. One of those was trip navigation. So Dean put together a multi-part class for that. We debuted that in April. And that went awesome. We did it in the bonfire, but then you guys loved it so much, we ended up breaking those out into standalone videos.
And one of the other things that came out of that was I finally, after years and years and years of begging Matt to make a map folio, I finally got him to create a Blue Ridge Overland Gear map folio. It was spawned kind of out of the navigation video series. And that was another limited run product that everybody seemed to love.
That was one of our best limited runs ever. So that was awesome.
Maybe even better than the Cheez-It holder.
It's possible. I have to go back and look, but it was up there. Then I did my photography tips, and then later video tips and video editing tips.
That was also the very first backyard basics video with the Scottle popcorn video.
Yes, first ever cooking video.
Yeah, so,
I've now made a cooking show.
yeah,
I can say.
Yeah, we've got that. Hopefully we'll
Got
get
that under our belts.
We'll do some more of those. Yeah, and one of the other big time effects that we felt being a manufacturer was supply chain issues. And a lot of people in the manufacturing industry were buying fabric from China. We used a US supplier, but once everybody had trouble getting stuff from China, they started using kind of the same suppliers we used here in the US, and that made us kind of harder to get our stuff. And I would dare say the supply chain started to break down. But that wraps up April.
And that brought us to May. And we start out May, more backyard basics, chicken teriyaki on the Scottle.
One of my favorite meals.
And then my little brother Matt did the new shop tour. We took you guys behind the scenes of the shop before we'd done any work on it. Before we'd done any demolition or anything like that. So that was a lot of fun. And then also spawned by the trip navigation series, maps. We started to carry maps for the first time. We got Purple Lizard maps, and then backcountry discovery routes.
And Jen and Jeremy with Family Adventures Overlanding did their own cooking video on our channel, and that was the creamy lemon chicken on a Scottle.
So tasty.
Unbelievable. If you've never been around Jen and Jeremy when they're cooking, magnifique.
And then due to the COVID shutdown, we basically had to stop shipping internationally until things kind of got unlocked and we had to figure it out.
There were packages at this point that we had shipped out in February or March and still hadn't arrived. By the end of May, they still hadn't arrived. They were stuck in customs. And
then Overland West was postponed.
Yeah. I don't think any events had actually happened by this point.
Yeah. And then we started to move in here. So we did the big BROG demolition day.
Oh my gosh.
Now I hear that tapping, now I'm gonna tap.
And in one weekend, we unplugged the machines on Friday at the old shop and had them plugged in and running on Monday the following week.
And then we finished out June with the insanely customized Tacoma walk around with the camper. Such a great build, it was totally awesome.
So in July, we continued with the trip planning navigation, and we had the ultimate showdown. Gaia GPS versus the Garmin Overlander, head to head. Which one is better? We're not going to tell you the answer. Go back, watch that video.
Then we made the move to doing those teaching videos as standalones. All of our future classes, we moved them out of the bonfire. We shortened up the bonfires to just be short and sweet, so those could just be fun.
The other thing that we did that I had a little bit of fun with, and we knew this going in,
was risky.
Was the Overlander Reacts video to the Ford Bronco video.
There was passion, for sure.
And it's still hovering around like a 50 to 55% dislike to like ratio.
Yeah.
I mean, you could definitely tell I definitely upset some people.
And then also in July, we did Overland Communication. And then inspired by that,
added Midland USA to our product lineup. So, as you can see, like we started to kind of pair, the videos that we were doing with new products.
And then in August, moving on to August, we had Rooftop Tent Rally tickets went on sale. And they sold out in a day.
3 hours, not even a day.
Not even.
3 hours, they were gone. And basically what had happened was at this point, the restrictions in the Commonwealth of Virginia were such that we could have an event so long as it was under 250 people. So with 50 set aside for vendors, staff, and stuff like that, we were able to put 200 on sale. We put 200 on sale at like 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, and they were gone just after lunchtime.
That was rough. And then the quarantine breakout expedition happened.
Yeah, so that was done in conjunction with Fury Training Concepts. It was the very first kind of joint BROG Fury Training Concepts guided ride. But we finished out August with kind of one of the most popular videos that people still comment on to this day, and that is the minimalist overland build of Rodney Dewson's Jeep Gladiator. Everybody really seemed to like his kind of no frills approach to the essentials on that vehicle. Yeah, so that was a great walk around with that.
Finishing out the the comms thing, we did mobile radio install tips. This was the first time we'd ever done an install tips video. You got to break out the white paper. We had a lot of fun.
My little
with that.
electrical diagrams.
Electrical diagrams. And then that brought us to September. So what happened in September, Dean?
Now, September, the demand was really starting to get a little bit of a backlog. So we actually ordered some new machines. We had the new building up and running. We had some more space, and part of that was getting new machines.
We also debuted the Trail Etiquette series. That was another series that you guys had requested.
Well, the other thing going on in September was our order backlog had hit 500 orders. Like,
ouch.
Mind blown, unbelievable. This impacted us so much that we actually started turning off certain products to really kind of hedge in to our more popular flagship items like tool bags.
Something had to be done.
Seat back panels.
To slow it down and to streamline it.
To offset, like if you're going to give something up, we got to kind of have something to replace it. We came up with the first Blue Ridge Overland Gear patch and shirt combination, the 2020 Apocalypse patch and shirt.
Dude, I love this patch. I've got the shirt too.
Yeah.
My one contribution was the toilet paper. It was like an idea we had batted around, and I pulled for it. I'm like, it's not quite complete yet. He put it in there. It's perfect. I absolutely love it.
The other thing going on in September that was a lot of fun was the first ever Adventure X Fest with Mountain State Overland. This was a small enough event like the Rooftop Tent Rally we'll talk about here in Virginia.
I got to go out. It was really, really fun to just sit down, have a drink with those guys, meet new people. I met Peach State Overland and all kinds of fun people.
Met a lot of viewers, people like you right now watching the video.
I forget his name, but whoever won the Got to Go bag, I met him.
Yeah.
And it was such a blast.
And then we finished September with a walk around of a very, very unique vehicle, a JK8 conversion.
So that vehicle belonged to Mandy Brazina, who she was down at our shop because she was going on to compete in the 2020 Rebel Rally, which is a 8-day-long land navigation, no GPS rally race out in the desert, California. And we were sponsoring her team, Hemispheres United, so she was coming down to get some gear from us.
So in October, that's when the actual Rebel Rally was. While that was going on, they ended up finishing, I think, 5th in the rookie class. And that happened to be the same week we had our Rooftop Tent Rally. Pretty much everybody who signed up for it came. We had a great time. It was very reminiscent of the first Rooftop Tent Rally.
Yeah, it really was. Another fun thing I did, I'd been wanting to do that for a long time. I always just noticed that so many Overlanders have dogs. Yeah. And so I shot a whole photo series, the dogs of Rooftop Tent Rally 2020. And
so we were shooting the bonfire outside.
In the woo hoods.
Yeah, which is fine in July and August and in September.
It really started to get cold, guys. But, the leaves eventually started to fall.
Yeah,
yes.
And it was no longer warm. But thankfully, the end of October, bam, this showed up. Our studio. And that brings us into November.
November.
Oh my God, November's almost a page. So we had the second guided ride with Fury Training Concepts, the fall foliage ride.
Then we opened up international shipping a little bit. We added UK and Europe.
And then arguably the biggest change of 2020 for Blue Ridge Overland Gear.
Absolutely.
Probably even bigger than changing production facilities. We actually changed how we did orders. Really up until this point, BROG had always kind of been a built-on-demand small batch manufacturing. And we would basically, if you ordered something, we would make it for you, and we
within about two days to up to 5 days.
Right.
But with our order volume was so small back then, we could manage that.
Yeah, and even once we kind of got some of our supply chain issues ironed out and got larger production, we still hadn't really put a dent in that 500 order backlog.
We're down to maybe 4.
Yeah, going into October, I believe we were in about the 300 to 400 range. So what we decided to do is to actually 100% track inventory. We're not going to sell it if it's not in stock, with a few minor exceptions. And that really started to kind of shrink our backlog and allow us to really get back into kind of a regular order flow. And we tried to do this at the beginning of November, really in preparation for Black Friday and the holiday sale season, because we didn't want to disappoint people going into the holidays. Because if you were going to shop on Black Friday, buy a holiday gift, we wanted to make sure we would be able to ship it to you. So that was a huge change.
Yeah. And then we released the walk around with the Jeepsies Jeep from Rooftop Tent Rally.
We also launched the fridge tie-down straps. This came out of our fridge install tips video.
And then this is the first time we had ever done a holiday gift guide video.
Yep, and that was I believe that was the first video with the new wall.
Yeah.
Because we had hung the squirrels and the stockings.
My
up
favorite
there.
thing about that video is that Jason photoshopped an elf ear on you. For the holiday season, we did another limited run of map folios just for Christmas. We got all those out in time for Christmas.
In November, our friend Sasquatch came to us and he said he was tired of spending all of his time here in Virginia and he wanted to see all 50 states. And we were okay letting him go, but we wanted a way to track him. So Sasquatch was like, look, why don't we do this cool little patch called Sasquatch Was Here? And he's like, I'll leave these patches and stickers everywhere I go. So we ended up with the Sasquatch Was Here shirt and patch. And that was something new that our boy here, Sasquatch, came up with.
So if you want to participate with that, take a picture of the patch, the shirt, or any squirrel that you find, hashtag it Sasquatch Was Here, and you could be featured on the show and added to the map. We want to fill in all 50 states.
The other big event for us every year in the fall around this time in November is the Overland Flea Market, but sadly due to changes in COVID procedures, we weren't allowed to have that event at all, so we postponed that to the spring. And the same thing happened with the New Year's Eve ride. We literally announced the ride on a Tuesday on the bonfire, and then like 2 days later, they were like, hey, restrictions have changed. You can't do this anymore.
That was such a big oof, man. We had to tell so many people that it was that Flea Market was canceled.
Life goes on, and that brings us to December. And December, CT did probably one of the coolest videos I think we've ever done, and that was the animated tool bag, kind of all the tools loading stop motion animation style into the tool bag.
The Cyber Week second sale. That was your baby. Tell everybody about that.
So I was kind of bummed that we had to cancel the flea market, because that's usually when we can clean out our seconds bin. Those get cleaned out usually at the flea market, but since we couldn't do that, I decided to take that part of the flea market digital, and
wow,
you guys loved it. We're definitely going to do that again. I'm thinking a spring cleaning cyber sale.
Yeah. Another thing that started to happen in December is we finally started to clear a camping loop back way up through the woods in here. Our goal is to eventually have several camping spots along there, and have a little honor box where people can come and put in some money and stay here overnight. We just want to be a landing spot for overlanders in the area to have a safe spot to camp.
We added a new product in December, another map group called Latitude 40. They have maps for Colorado and Utah.
And then towards the end of December, we realized it looked like the growth in sales was just not going away. So we bought 3 more sewing machines. I'm going to look at starting to get some more people going into January.
And then our last walk around video of 2020, and that was the Scout Traveler walk around, another video we filmed at the Rooftop Tent Rally.
So that's it, guys. BROG Rewind 2020. Wow. As my boss says, it doesn't feel like you're doing very much in the moment. It's when you look back that you're like, holy cow, that we got a lot done.
I know.
It's been a blast. What an awesome year. And you might be wondering, what are we looking to in the future? What's 2021 going to hold? More of the same. We want to do more walkarounds, classes, and all that fun jazz. But we want to hire some more sewing machine operators. We are growing. We bought a laser. Should allow us to do some really fun and cool things.
And then, like we said, we want to finish that camping loop, get up a small pavilion/shelter thing going on. We will be bringing back the flea market, and hopefully, I'm going to cross our fingers here, We can actually have the flea market here and also have kind of maybe like an open house. You guys can come and see the new shop. Tune in next week to the Blue Ridge Bonfire right here. Same BROG channel.
Same BROG time. Stay classy, stay safe, have fun. We'll see you then.
We'll see you there.